In Word, you will have a ribbon for EndNote. This video will take you through each element of the menu and briefly show you what each item does. We'll start with the Insert Citation button on the left side. This button has several options if you choose the arrow next to it. First, by simply clicking the button rather than the down arrow, you can insert a citation from your EndNote library into your paper by searching the library for a word in the author or title or by year. I'll search by Heaton to find an article by P.M. Heaton and insert that citation. The in-text citation is inserted at my cursor and the bibliography entry is entered at the end of the paper. Next, I can go to EndNote and select one or more citations in EndNote, and then go back to Word and insert those selected citations in the paper. Again, the in-text citations go where the cursor is, and the bibliography entries are added to the end. When using a numbered style, such as JAMA, I can insert a note in my text that will be referenced by number. The number is inserted in the text and your note is added as a footnote or endnote associated with that number. Not all styles support this feature, however. Finally, I can also insert a figure, such as a table, graph, or illustration, into my paper. The appropriate figures must have been saved in EndNote as a figure. Note that you cannot later edit a caption after the figure is entered, so be sure to have it finalized before inserting the figure. Go to EndNote will take you out of Word and into the EndNote program. You can also edit your citations and references as they appear in Word. Choose the citation you want to edit. The bottom section of the screen makes it easy to make the most common types of edit. You can change the format of the citation so the author appears in the text, or even make a work show only in the bibliography. You can add page numbers, prefixes, or suffixes to an in-text citation if that is needed. You can also see the elements of the reference from the EndNote record, although you cannot edit it in this screen. Using the drop-down menu next to the record in the top section of the screen takes you to EndNote to edit the record. You can remove a citation, you can insert another item to an existing citation, and you can update your citations from your library. This last is great if you have edited records in EndNote and need the changes to show up in your Word document. Edit Library References opens the record in EndNote, allowing you to edit it and save the changes. In the Styles section, you can change the style as many times as you want. The styles that show up in this drop-down are defined in EndNote. Check your EndNote 20 Guide, Styles page for information on setting up the list of styles. Here is another way you can update your citations and bibliography. You have a Convert Citations and Bibliography button that allows you to convert your citations to unformatted citations. You can later format them again by using the Update Citations and Bibliography button. You can also convert your document to plain text. This is useful when submitting a document to a publisher or when passing a document between various people. Once converted to plain text, the document cannot easily be linked back to the EndNote library, so be sure it is not your original copy that you convert. Windows also allows you to convert references in your document that came from a rival product called Reference Manager or from the References ribbon in Word to EndNote references. There are times when you want your references separated by categories. For instance, CVs often list books separate from peer-reviewed journal articles. You can set up your own categories and then drag and drop each citation into the category you want it to appear in. Unlike your library groups, a record can only appear in one category. Instant formatting of your records allows you to see a reference or in-text citation as it will appear in whatever style you have chosen immediately upon entering it. This is useful in shorter papers, but as a bibliography gets longer, this can slow your computer down significantly. If you find your computer struggling to update your document, you might consider turning this off or setting it up to scan for temporary citations less frequently. When you are done editing the document, or you want to check your formatting, you can update your citations and bibliography to format them. Hidden in the Expand button below the Instant Formatting button are options for formatting your bibliography. The Format Bibliography tab allows you to choose the document you are formatting, choose the style of your bibliography, and determine how temporary citations show, if you have chosen to turn off instant formatting. You can also have Word automatically link the in-text citation to the bibliography entry, so readers can click on the in-text citation and go directly to the appropriate reference. The Layout tab of this box allows you to choose the font and font size, as well as define a title for your bibliography. If you are using a numbered style, you can designate the beginning number. You can also configure the spacing and indenting for the bibliography without changing the whole document or adding a section break. There is an Export to EndNote feature that allows you to export a traveling library to EndNote. When a document is created with EndNote citations, a traveling library is automatically created that goes with the document. If someone sends you a document with EndNote citations intact, you can import those citations into your own library. You can also export citations created in Word using the References ribbon. This can be done for the references in an individual paper or the master list of all references in Word on a computer. Manuscript Matcher tries to find the best journal fit for your manuscript. This uses the manuscript title, abstract, and references in your paper and compares those to journals that are indexed in the Web of Science to find the best fit for your article. There are preferences for EndNote in Word, as well as those in the EndNote program itself. You can have EndNote open automatically when you start Word and close when you leave Word. Determine whether you return to Word after inserting citations. When starting a new document, you can have instant formatting turned on or off automatically, and configure when the document will scan for temporary and changed citations. You can determine whether you see field codes or the values. In other words, whether you see the field names or the citations themselves. You can create keyboard shortcuts for actions that you perform frequently. Figures and tables can be set to show after the paragraph in which they are referenced or placed in a custom spot for each table and figure. Finally, you can specify whether you are using EndNote Desktop or EndNote Online with Word and provide the login credentials if you are using EndNote Online.